All right, let's talk a little real estate with our real estate guru. You see her on KSDK Channel 5. She's with us every Thursday, but a special Friday edition. Kathy Helbig from the Kathy Helbig Group. Good morning, Kathy Helbig.
Good morning.
Let's talk about closing costs, because I bought and sold a couple of houses, and closing costs, I always talk about it, and I'm like, yeah, closing costs, and I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, nobody seems to know what they're talking about, and sellers are scared of it, and buyers don't realize how to capitalize on it. So basically, when you're writing a contract to purchase, you are required by the lender to have a certain amount as a down payment. You cannot finance a down payment. However, you can finance all of the closing costs.
Right.
So if you're pinched for cash, the best thing to do is to include it into your offer, asking the seller to pay your closing costs. Now, that's kind of a little bit of a shell game with numbers. So sellers freak out and immediately think, I'm not giving them a check for closing costs.
Right.
And they immediately want to shut down and say no. But really, it's almost like, I explain it kind of like a trade-in with a car. When your blue book or black book says your car's worth $3,000, and the dealer, you're looking at a $20,000 car, and the dealer says, I'm going to give you $6,000 for yours, you know you're not really getting $6,000 for that car. You're getting the discount off of the new car to make that trade-in allowance. And that's kind of what closing costs are like. So you build it into the offer. If someone was going to pay $175,000 for a house and you want $3,000 in closing costs, then maybe you're going to offer them $177,000. And then it really is like the seller sold it for $174,000.
Who normally, or is there a normal, who's supposed to pay for the closing costs?
Well, typically everybody has their own closing costs. There's seller's closing costs, which is much lower, and there's buyer's closing costs, which include your escrows for your homeowner's insurance and your property taxes.
Right.
But you can also write in prepaids, and a lot of realtors don't put that language in properly. So it should be closing costs, prepaids, and points, because you're trying to guesstimate ahead of time when you're making that offer, and you're building that fluff in, and you may not use it all. So if you add in those extra terms of prepaids and or points, you can eat up that difference. And prepaids are things like you can have your appraisal paid for, you can have the survey paid for, you can termite, those type of things, the title fees, all of that can be wrapped into your closing cost and prepaids.
Because in a way, the buyer's not going to really miss the money.
Right. Well,
When
it's
you
just
have
it's
that written
less
in
cash.
there.
You're
Right.
financing your closing costs. That's really what you're doing.
Gotcha.
You're putting it into the mortgage.
Yeah, so the seller still gets the same amount of money they were
It's
getting.
net. You got to think about it as net.
Right,
you know.
interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
So-
I think I'm more confused now than I was before you sat down.
Sorry.
It's just
it's
really
net.
kind
so
of
you
less
build it
money
in.
out of your pocket.
It's less money out of
For
your
the
pocket.
seller, the
Right.
buyer.
So you think about, you got to come up with a down payment. You got to come up with your closing costs. You got to buy your building inspection, your survey. It starts adding up. So what are the things that you could build into your loan? You separate those out from your down payment, and those are your closing costs. And then you just add a little bit more to the seller for what you're offering, and then ask the seller to rebate you back the closing costs.
All
Does
right.
that make it any more clear?
Absolutely,
McCraw?
sure, perfect, as
right.
normal. Which is why I need to read up on this on the Kathy Helbig app. Tell us about the app.
Right.
Yeah, download the app, Kathy Helbig Group, Apple and Google Play, and we have informative videos that come through it. Our streams for our social media is there, which has all kinds of information to update you on things like
It
closing
is
costs.
such a great app.
It really is. It's a great
I
app.
love the videos, everything.
We're starting to hear real estate's picking up a little bit. Are you seeing the same thing?
Yeah, it's still, usually this is a slow time of the, we're supposed to slow down a little bit when kids go back to school, but we're really busy still, so.
Good. Kathy Helbig Group. She has a full team of realtors, 17 years in the business, co-owner of Keller Williams Realty West. She's our real estate guru. You see her on KSDK Channel 5, KathyHelbigGroup.com. Download the app, Kathy Helbig Group, or online at Facebook, What the Helbig. Have a good weekend. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, traffic weather.